So, this is the paradise that we inherit from our slaves, whomever was biased. This paradise that Allah Azza wa Jal described with a great character that they don't hear no false talk except peace, and they have their sustenance day and night at all times. That's the one that Allah will inherit His slaves who are biased. The one who spend in the ease and hardship, who hold their anger and they forgive people. Just like Allah said in Surah Al-Mu'minun, in the beginning, the believers are successful who are concentrating in their prayers and they're staying away from extra talk and who perform their zakah and they are protecting their private parts except for their wives and those that they hold. They are not blamed, and whomever go beyond that, these are the aggressors. And the ones who are fulfilling their trust and they are preserving their prayers, those are the one who's going to inherit the inheritance of the paradise, and they are in it eternally. So in the beginning of Surah Al-Mu'mineen, those are the one who inherit the paradise. They are staying in it eternally. And then Allah said, and we do not descend except with the order of your Lord. He has everything within our hands and what's behind us and what's beyond that. And your Lord is not forgotten. After Allah mentions the story of the prophets, peace be upon them, to give the steadfastness of the Prophet ﷺ, then he followed with the mentioning what people has innovated after that. Those who lost the prayers, wasted they followed the um, desires, and the reason why, and the disbelievers they claim that Allah Azza wa Jal forgot the Prophet ﷺ because Jibreel took a while to come to the Prophet ﷺ. But Allah wants to show that it was different. It is in the Sahih that the Prophet ﷺ said to Jibreel, don't you visit us more than what you visit us? So then descended, no, we did not descend except with the order of your Lord. He have everything behind in our hands and behind us and everything beyond. And Allah is not forgetful. It was said that Jibreel stayed away from the Prophet ﷺ days. When he was asked about the people of the cave, and the Prophet ﷺ did not know how to answer. So he got saddened. So when Jibreel descended, the Prophet ﷺ told him, "O Jibreel, you stayed away until I had and I missed you." He said, "I'm more missing you, but I am a slave that is ordered. If I'm sent, I come down, and if I'm hold back, I will hold back." Then Allah descended, we don't come except with the order of your Lord. He has everything with our hands. We don't go on the message except with the order of Allah Azza wa Jal, from what His wisdom allows. And the interest of His servants, and the goodness will be in their life and in the hereafter. So everything in this life, He gets it, and what's in the hereafter, and what's in between and beyond. Allah is the one who control all the times, the past, the future, and what's in between. Allah does whatever He wants as He wish. No one can uh, object. So the angel don't go from one town to another except with Allah Azza wa Jall's permission. You don't forget, He is not unaware at any time. He's always aware. So your Lord was not forgetful. Hadith of Abu Darda, what Allah allowed in His book is permissible, what He forbid is forbidden, what He held on it is uh, good. Allah do not forget anything. Allah, the Lord of the heavens and earth and what's in between. The one who has the control of everything, He cannot forget. He cannot be unaware. Then it's clarified what His messengers should do, which is to worship Him and to be patient on it. Allah, the one who controls the heavens and earth and what's in between, who control everything. Worship Him and stay on worship Him, and with all types of ways you face, you have to be patient. No matter what you face, you have to be patient on it. Then he stressed that on the worship. Do you know a name, anyone equal to Him, anyone like Him, grateful, given with all bounties, and you have to glorify him the best, admitting His Lordship and to submit to His authority. So He has everything in our hands in this life, what's behind us in the hereafter, and what's in between that, either indication to the what happened in the grave or between the two blown trumpets. The Lord of the heavens and earth and what in between. So worship Him and be patient to His worship. Do you know anyone like Him? Do you know an example or Akrima saying for Ibn Abbas, no one is called Ar-Rahman except Allah. And then Allah says, and the humans will say, if I were to die, I will be resurrected alive. So, are we going to be a new creation? Don't the human beings see that we created him from a simple clot? And he gave us an example, and he forgot how he was created. Who created the bones when it's done? Say the one who created the first one, we will resurrect it. And he's knowing everything about his creation. So the human will say, if I were to die, am I going to go back alive? Don't the human being remember that we had created him before and he was nothing? Allah the Almighty created the human being and he was nothing. Did He return him when he became something? He is the one who started the creation and he could repeat it. And it's easy for him, and he had the biggest example in the heavens and earth, and he's the Almighty and wise. And in the hadith, the human being belied me, and he cursed me, and he shouldn't do that. His line that he claimed that I can't resurrect him. And the creation of the human is the same, like bringing it back. But his curse him to me when he claimed that I have a son. I am the Ahad Samad الذي didn't have a child. The ways of Quran of showing the resurrection after death to remind us about the first creation compared to the second one. Allah Azza wa Jal said, they claimed, if we are bones and dust, are we going to be resurrected again, a new creation? Allah said, be stones or iron or any creation that is high in your chest. They will say, who's going to return it? It's the one who created the first time. So they will turn their heads and they say, well, it's going to be. It should be come close. When he close, you will answer with his, and you think that you only said little. Don't the human being see that we have created from a clot, and he is an enemy? He gave us an example. I forgot how it's created. Who's going to resurrect the bones when it's dust? It is the first one who created the first time, and he is knowledgeable about all his creations. Another ayah, does the human being think that he's gonna be left alone? Wasn't he a clot from some sperms? And then he became alaqa, then he made him a man. Isn't Allah is capable of resurrecting the death? That's why he wanted to in Allah said in the beginning, wasn't he a clot, small but nothing, a weak from water that is come from the back of the also. So he became a different creations, whether male or female. Isn't he capable of creating? Also Allah Azza wa Jal saying, let the human being look what he was created from. He was created from water that is overflowing, that comes from the bones and the dust. He is capable of returning it. He has no power or support of that one who created you from this water that's flowing, made you humans after you were. He is capable of returning you back. Then Allah said, by your Lord, we're going to resurrect them with the devils, and we're going to bring them on their knees around Jahannam. Allah has sworn that He have to bring them all with their devil that they used to worship beside Allah. And we're going to bring him around Jahannam on their knees. Allah said, you find every nation on its knees. They will be called to their book. So by Lord, we're going to gather them and the devils, and we're going to bring them around Jahannam on their knees. Being sitting down, kneeling down. They're on their knees because of what they're going through hell. They cannot stand up. Then we will go to take from each part who are the worst on the merciful as an enemy, the one who is more rebellious against Allah, the more disobedient to Allah. We're going to start with them. So we'll start with their punishment. Ibn Mas'ud said, when everybody is resurrected, then Allah will look at the greatest in crime and the highest, Then he will take from each part who is worse on the merciful. So when they are all enter the hellfire, the first will tell the last, "Oh Allah, these are the one who will put us astray. Give them double the in the hellfire." Allah will reply, "For each they have double, but you don't know." Allah the Almighty knows who deserve the hellfire and to be eternal in it, who would deserve to be multiplied the punishment on him. Because Allah said, "For each they have double, but you don't know." And then Allah said, "And each one is going to go through it." It was obligatory on your Lord. Oh human being, each one of them will come, go through it, and this is something that is certain. And it's going to happen no matter what. The dispute in here between the scholars, Abu Sumayya says, we have disputed, no believers will enter it. So I saw Jabir ibn Abdullah and I told him we had disputed about the promise. He said they will all go through it. And Sulaiman ibn Murad said they will enter it, and then he put his he said, I heard the Prophet saying there's no bias or dispute except he will enter it. Even the fire has a voice from its heat. And there's more details about the meaning of it. It was different it is to enter, Allah take the harm from the righteous, so it'll be called in peace. Or you could burst and to walk on the straight path in the hereafter, which is that final line. And also they said the believers from all these promises. And Sheikh Shanqiti, he preferred that what meaning the entrance of hellfire, Allah will make it easy on the believers. And because all the ayat is and the Sheikh is talking about the word meaning to enter it, that Allah mentioned it in several areas in the Quran. Most of it meaning they will be pushed either in a group, because Allah said, "You and whomever you worship beside Allah, it's the party of Jahannam. You are." And those who said it does not mean the entrance, just to pass by on the straight path, because Allah said, "Those who have the husna, the paradise, they are away from the hellfire. Do not hear the shouting in the hellfire, and they are indulgent in what their soul desires." So staying away from it, that means they didn't enter it, because to pass by it is different than enter it. Allahu Alam. The strong talk goes so either we enter it or cat or pass by it, and Allah will leave the transgressors, the oppressors, in the hadith of Jabir before, it strengthened because the word warida means he entered, but it will be easy on the believers, just like it was on Ibrahim, peace be upon him. And then Allah will save those who are biased, and He will leave the in it. Ameen. Ameen. And the companions and the previous scholars used to write this ayah and shake them, make them cry. Abdullah ibn Rawaha used to put his head in his wife's body, and she used to cry, so she used to cry. He said, "Why you crying?" She said, "I saw you crying, so I cried with you." He said, remembered Allah saying, each one of you is going to pass by it, and I don't know if I'm gonna be saved in it or not." And another one used to say, "I wish my mom did not have birth to me." They said, "Why are you crying?" He said, "We were told that we all going to enter pass by it, but we don't know whether we're gonna get out of it." And Al-Hasan al-Basri said, a man told his brother, "Do you know that you're going to the fire?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Do you know that you're going to leave it?" He said, "No." So then why you're laughing? And then Allah will save those who are biased, and He will leave the oppressors in it for ages. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud said that people will get to the Sirat, and they go, depends on the action. Some will go like a flash, and some will be like the wind, and some like the best of camels, and the one as fastest person. The last one, his light is right on his. He could see as far only as his feet, and the Sirat is very thin, and there's angels who have pieces from the hellfire. They take people out, and the angels are saying, "Oh Allah, save, save." So each one of you is going to pass it. It was obligated on your Lord, and Allah will save those who are biased, and will keep the aggressors for ages. When all Christians go through the hellfire, Allah will save the believers who are biased. And then Allah said, "And if my signs are recited very clearly, that disbelievers will tell the believers, which of the two people are better?" If Allah's signs are that's clear, that are descended, the disbelievers will tell the believers which of the two parties is better and has best sitting. They pride themselves. They use what Allah gave them, and the falsehood that they have, and they think that they are better in status. So how are we going to be when we're oppressors? That's why you don't see them. And Allah said to the disbelievers, "It is good they will not beat us to it." And then Allah said, "And then we have trusted each one with each. These are the ones that Allah bestowed their mercy. Don't Allah know the ones who are grateful?" And then Allah replied, How many villages we have destroyed, and they are better furniture and money. So, oh Muhammad, before you, there are some nations who are enjoyed more than you did and have better places. And he is replying their doubtfulness. How many people that we have destroyed with their disbelief? They were better than in their money. And then Allah said, let whomever in the astray, Allah will increase in him when they see what they were promised, either the punishment or the hour, then they will know who is worse. So whomever was in the ignorant, Allah will sell those who are disbelievers of Allah. So from us of them, Allah, He will leave him in his, He'll leave him in his oppression, in his tyranny. Allah will give him a chance, but at the end he will find Allah Azza wa Jal when his time is gone. This is like being sarcastic to the disbelievers. Whether it's us or you, whomever it is in the stray, Allah will give him and He will give him. Allah said to the Jews, if you claim that you are Allah's allies beside inside the people, well, ask Allah for death if you are truthful. But you're falsely, you don't, you want. And just like from the Christians, so whomever disputed with you after what you had from knowledge, you say, come on, let's call our sons and daughters and wives and your wives, and we will make Allah's curse on the disbelievers. But they kept in their oppression and go to the extreme and saying the wrong thing, claiming that Isa, the son of Allah, and Allah showed us that this is not true. And then Allah increases those who are. When Allah mentioned those that He's given time for those who are astray to increase it, He said that Allah will give also extra for the believers. Whenever there's a surah coming, they'll say, who among you increased in his faith? These are the baqiyat, the salihat, the deeds that everlasting. As Shanqiti used to say, and the saying of the scientists, as narrated, that it is the five players that please Allah, and others who claim that it is, or is it Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Wallahu Akbar, and wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahi al-ali al-azim. And on that is the majority of the scholars. So the righteous good deeds is a general one that includes the prayers in it and all the good deeds that pleases Allah the Almighty, because staying for its honor is not leaving, just like this life and its garments, and because it could happen. Dear brothers, we'll stop here today, inshallah. We'll continue tomorrow بإذن الله تعالى. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.